At your local Good Neighbor Pharmacy, we are shaped by the unique communities in which we serve, and we look forward to serving you every single day at every location that we're proud to offer, including Pharmacy Express in Glasgow, Parkland Drugs in Cave City, Metcalf Drugs in Edmonton, and Clark Drugs in Munfordville. We would like to thank you all for being our good neighbors and for your support and business during this past unprecedented year. Find Pharmacy Express online at mygnp.com and find the Empty Nest at Pharmacy Express online on Facebook.
Some say time heals, but Teresa Huber discovered nearly a decade ago that time is only a medium to make a change. The Monroe County native and WKU graduate lost her backbone and rock nearly 10 years ago. This is her story.
In 2010, in April 6, 2010, my husband was actually building a little metal building for her. He cut his finger, so we left because he was bleeding pretty bad, and she told him to go get a tetanus shot. And we come home, and she called a couple of times, told me to come up there and get some money to go get the shot, and I told her I'd be up there about 5 or 5:30. I spoke to her around 3:30ish. Like a normal evening, I go up there, and the front door was locked, so I really didn't think too much about it. Granny had a wig on. No, but not many people know that, but she always did her hair, and if she was washing her hair, she locked the door. I didn't think nothing about it. I walk around back, and her back door is open a little bit. So I just kind of stepped in, and at that point, I heard a noise, and I kind of see out of the corner of my eye that somebody's in her house. And I see Granny, her feet, and she's in the floor. At that point, I just looked up, and God blessed me with, I remember looking at the curio and say, "Granny, if you can hear me, just call me and I'm going to go get you something to eat." I backed out of the house, ran to the car, and I called 911. At that time, I didn't know anything, what was going on.
Law enforcement arrived 4 minutes later to find Clarine Adams lying on the floor. In that moment, the events were unclear to Teresa.
I look at her, and I'm patting her leg, "Granny, Granny." This time, I still did not know anything. They took me out of the house. They asked me if that was my grandmother, and I identified her. And I asked, before I walked out of the house, I asked if they would cover her up.
Authorities later determined Teresa's granny, Clarine Adams, had been brutally murdered and sexually assaulted. It was April 6, 2010 that changed Teresa's life forever. She had not only lost her grandmother, but a close confidant.
I went to her many times. She was like my best friend. And in some sense, she was like a mother to me. I was really close to her. Anytime that, I was having a bad day or any issue I may have, I would call her. Like I said, sometimes she was just point blank.
It was Clarine's demeanor that everyone knew her by. Teresa grew close to her grandmother and still draws close to her in times of need. She regularly visits her gravesite in Ebenezer.
When Granny was alive, like she always told me, if something happens to me, you make sure that rock's, clean and flowers are on. And I told her I would, not realizing that it would be in the situation that it is. But I feel at peace there. I feel like closure there. It's just, I may go over and clean her tombstone, play some music there, just talk to her. People think, some people may think that's silly, but I feel at peace with her there.
And while it's been a rough road from that spring day nearly 10 years ago, Teresa says her granny would want nothing but positivity. That's why she took to helping young women and raising awareness for sexual assault 3 years ago.
I started an event. It's called Breaking the Silence. This will be the 3rd year that we have been able to have it here in Monroe County. And it's just raising awareness for sexual assault victims, their families. I've been able to help with the sponsors that I get here in Monroe County. I've been able to help 8 young women.
It's her grandmother's love and passion for others that continues to resonate through Teresa, and while Clarine may be gone, her image and character last forever. This is Teresa Huber.